Welcome to our LEGO Star Wars Hoth MOC. Last week we extended out the snow cliffs. This week we're putting the finishing touches on the command center. And don't forget to stick around to the end of the video because you, the viewer, are going to decide what scene will go into our new secret ice cave. Alright, so it is time to put some finishing touches on our command station. And just for context, this is in the left side of Echo Base, along the hallways here, in front of the medical bay, and in front of the Wampa Containment Center, which some violence happened. So, what are we going to be doing with the control center today? There's a few things, and one thing I know you guys have been all bunged up about, we don't have an actual Torren Farr minifigure, so I actually ordered one. I paid $10 gazillion, and I'm getting it all the way from Australia. So we are going to replace this fakey Torren Farr, and actually, I don't think I'm going to replace it. And just in addition to this Torren Farr, I'm going to have a new Torren Farr, because this minifig actually has a headset, like they do in the movie. The Torren Farr you get online, the LEGO one that came with the UCS Hoth set, doesn't even have a headset. So I'm assuming it's like her later fighting against Wampas or something. So we have our Torren Farr coming from Australia, just to make you guys happy, and we'll put her on the MOC. But I don't think she's going to be in her chair, because the Torren Farr in the chair has a headset on. And I'm going to insist she has a headset on, because how the heck is she going to call in the ion cannon strike? Come on! Whew, alright, enough of that. So, we're going to add another piece of Greeble.
Greeble.
Right when Han Solo walks in, there's like this little gray unit. It's very similar to the top of these fuel tanks. We are going to be adding another chair and a control panel to the front of this glass screen. This is where they first discover the Imperial probe droid.
It's metal.
Then it couldn't be one of those creatures.
Could be a speeder, one of ours.
No.
So we need a chair and a fella sitting there. Which reminds me, don't forget to stick around to the end of the video, because we had minifigures. And if you'll notice in the scene, there's an R2 unit in this scene in the chair next to the guy. This R2 unit has a yellow head. So looking at the droid that's sitting here from the scene, it could be the same R3 that we have out in Echo Base. However, the one in the scene seems to have more of a yellow dome. It could just be the lighting, but he looks a little more yellowish. So they don't really have a yellow R2 droid in LEGO minifigures, but I think a combination of the head from the R3S1 droid and the body of the R5F7 droid, I think I can construct a R3 yellow droid. But for now, we're probably going to have a stand-in, the good old R7D4. We have one of these minifigures staged and ready to go on the board, and I know he's Plo Koon's droid, but he'll be a stand-in.
Ahsoka, you know this droid?
At some point, we'll piece together a more accurate representation. So in addition to the chair and the droid and a sitting dude, we also have some work to do on the floor of the command center. This is just plain old, straight up bricks. So, I want to do like we did out here, have some Greeble, some ground flooring.
Greeble.
Some pipes and tubings on the floor of the command center so it looks a little more lived in. So let's get to work, and then we'll see what else we can add. We already have a lot of Greeble, a lot of tchotchkes. It really resembles the scene pretty well. Although, of course, we do need more Rebel Command Center folk just meandering around working on various equipments and such. So let's get building. Okay, first things first, I'm going to build a little piece of Greeble.
Greeble.
For right next to the door here that Han Solo passes on his way into the command center. This is a little weird. It's almost like they have some like pre-Columbian art or something at the entrance of the base. So as part of the art, there's like these little beads around it. So in place of beads, I'm just going to add this middle layer here to give it a little bit of texture. You're going to put this piece on the back side, just to have to be a little different. And then the mounting piece at the bottom will be this little round piece. So this is pretty close. We'll compare it to the picture. So let's put this on the board. Again, a little strange to have some pre-Columbian art in a battle command center, but yeah, who knows? Maybe it was from Hera, something like that, you know, or is it Sabine? I can't remember who the painter was or the artist, but anyways, we're going to have that there. for when Han Solo comes walking through the door, he has some pre-Columbian art to stare at. All right, so next we have to build the front part of this command console and put a chair and some plates to keep the feet warm of the minifig that's going to be there. So let's lay that into place. So we are going to just flank the command console in the center with some more control panels on the edges like so. And then we can put the glass panel back in. And we're ready for our chair. All right, so we're gonna build the chair just like the other Rebel chairs around the command center. So I'm gonna quickly show you how we build that chair and then set her down. All right, I've shown this Rebel command center chair build before, but instead of having you go dig it up, and also because it's a pretty cool, interesting little build, I'm just gonna do it, and also it's very quick. So you take this bottom piece here, just a round 2x2 stud. You put this little 2x2 modified hook plate, I guess bar plate, I don't know what you'd call that. Then on the front you put two little round 1x1 light gray studs, just like that. Then you put the back of the chair. Not exactly sure what this piece is. Oh, this is probably from a ship, like a vent cover. So that attaches right on the back. Fold it up, and you have yourself a chair. And then you mount it using a stud, a 1x2 plate with the center part, so it swivels nicely. All right, let's put our chair on the board. Okay, to prep, we have to put some vent plates down. We normally like to put 5. It's basically just to keep their little minifigure feet warm. You know, in case you believe these are real people, like I do. But I'm a All right, I'll stop being creepy and finish putting the vent plates down. One in the back, right there. And one more. Like to mix it up a little bit. We'll just kick this one off to the side. There we go. Now the chair that you just saw built will fit right neatly in between and should hold our minifigure that you're gonna have to wait till the end of the episode to see. Spoiler alert, sneak peek. He's gonna look a lot like these guys. All right, guys, now it is time for what I like to call ground Greeble time. No, wait, no.
Greeble, 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 Greeble.
Why do I say it? I know it's gonna happen. Why do I keep saying the word? Anyways, ground Greeble is like we did out here. It's well trodden upon parts of the Echo base. So now I am gonna cut over to hyperlapse mode and ground Greeble up the command center, including some nice little pipe work. I do know how people love good pipe work. All right, so there is the ground Greeble for the command center. We still have a few more minifigures to put down in here, and stick around to the end because we're actually going to be putting some in here today. I wonder where they're going. And that is going to do it for the build portion of the video. However, today we got something really cool planned. Like the Wampa Cave we have cut into the side of the mountain here, we have a brand new area that is also going to be cut into the side of the mountain, and we don't have a scene to put here. And last week we asked you to give us your comments, your feedback about what scene could we put here. And we got a ton of them. And now I, Leaky Trooper, am gonna jump over to our Discords and our comment sections and see what you guys said we should put in our secret cave. First, I'm gonna start with Prophet Lord in Discord, who actually asked his 7th grade homeroom class what we should put in the secret cave. Here's what they came up with. All right, here is the Prophet Lord. Let's see what his 7th grade class came up with. 31 responses. All right, Snow Trooper Spa, interesting. Like a hot tub or mineral springs full of snow troopers, like it. Dance party, maybe. Rare minifigures frozen in ice. That could be something. Jedi Fallen Order Ice Cave. Santa's Grotto. Could have Santa in there, yep. The Ice Spider Cave for Mando Season 2. Absolutely. Now, Jedi Fallen Order, I believe that is Cal Kestis? Cal Ketsis. There we go. Jedi Survivor. Fallen Order. E.T. E.T. Phone Home. Huh. And then there's one other one I love here. Jabba's Winter Palace. You know, a little vacation from Tatooine. He can go to his Winter Palace. Love it. All right, and a few more things we got in here. Xanderland says Kylo Ren versus Rey or Anna and Elsa. And I imagine if you're going to have Anna and Elsa, you got to have Olaf, the snowman. All right, let's jump over the comment section and see what those kooky folks came up with. Okay, our first comment comes from Martial Law. He says, would love to see a small outpost that the Imperial troops may have had with some workstations and beds and stuff. Keep it up. I like this idea, kind of like a secret base, a secret Hoth base. My only question would be, the Star Destroyer just showed up after they found the probe droid, so I don't know if they would have been there ahead of time. Anyways, a possibility. Next up is, I'm going to total butcher this one, Jakku Blamcha. Jakku's saying maybe snowtroopers sitting around a campfire and eating chicken legs, and a Wampa standing behind them. Yeah, that would be scary. Okay, Mew2You says, should make a minifig version of Leaking Assistant and make them frozen in the ice cave. I like this one, Marshall. I like this one a lot. Then we have David Batzer says, perhaps if the mountain slopes upward and the cavern was taller, you could recreate the abominable snowman from Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. That is one of my favorite all-time Christmas movies, although that thing scared me. David also goes on to say, I always thought the abominable snowman and the Wampa were distant cousins. I think they are. Those are some pretty good ideas. We got a lot of them. I like the Cal Kestis? I don't know how to say that guy's name. I also like Grogu and Mandalorian with the ice spiders. That's a cool one. Not so sure about Anna and Elsa and Olaf. Maybe if they were being eaten by Wampas, kind of like Jar Jar, maybe that would be a thing. But anyways, I'm going to consult with the assistant. We are going to come back maybe next week, maybe in a few weeks, and decide what we're putting in the ice cave. But keep the ideas coming. We want to give everybody a chance to put in their last ideas before we pick what's going in the ice cave. But you, the viewers, will decide. All right, now let's put the minifigures on the board so we can get out of here.
All right, guys, so now it is time to place our minifigures, and these are the two we decided. We have, of course, a man to sit in our empty seat over here in Leaky's beautiful detailed control room we've got going on over here, the command center, if you will. And I really like all this greebling work that's been done. It really just adds to the scene and really completes it, especially with all of the troops we're going to add here. So, you know, this corner's feeling a little empty, so that's what we're going to work on. And I know our droid isn't exactly correct, but for now, it will work. What do you think, Leaky?
Yeah, stand in.
It's definitely going to do the trick. But anyway, we can put in our first guy here, which is going to be working on the kind of this computer screen here with all of the transmission data on it. As you can see,
he's actually, I think, analyzing the Imperial probe droid.
Oh, I see. A very important man with a very important task to do, just like all of the other members here in the command center. And then, of course, our droid is stand-in droid.
And he's just kind of standing.
Yep.
Stand-in? Sorry.
He's a stand-in for right now, but that is going to work, and it definitely looks really cool with all of these people working around. And we have exciting news. We actually did finally get the proper minifigure for this spot right here. It's the lady.
That's not her yet.
That's not her.
She's on her way from Australia.
So we got the figure though. So we have the proper, what is it, Terran something?
Terran Far.
Terran Far. We
But
have
I'm
the
not
proper
putting
figure.
the crapper Far there, because this one has a headset. She's calling down the thunder with the ion cannon, and she's got to have a headset to do that. The real Terran, the real lady,
Terran Far, yeah.
Terran Far doesn't come with the headset, but as a matter of principle, we got the real one. but we're gonna have to put her somewhere else.
But I really like the way that our command center is coming along here, especially with the addition of these two gentlemen and all the Greeble work. It really does look like it how it does in the movie, with a bunch of nonsense and chaos going around, with a bunch of computing and all sorts of research to try to get the base defended here. So very good job, but that's probably going to do it for today. If you want to see behind the scenes planning work, don't forget to become a member, because, you know, we do planning work all the time. Like, how is this gonna work? I don't know. Well, if you remember, you would know. But anyway, guys, that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, don't forget to subscribe, because we do this every week, and we'll be back next week to make sure that you don't miss out on the glorious mock updates that keep coming from us. But anyway, that's going to do it for this episode. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you in the next one.